Hey, how y'all doing? Got a quick takeaway I'd like to share with you here out of Matthew 13, verse 44, and I'm only going to read the first part of the verse. And Jesus said, "Again, the kingdom of heaven is like unto a treasure hid in a field." Now, it's that last part there, a treasure hidden in a field, that I want to deal with here. The whole thing about it is when you give a parable, it's supposed to be an earthly story with a heavenly meaning. Now, in this particular case, the Jews that Jesus was speaking to on that day, they would recognize what Jesus is saying here, because they would understand that there were no banks in the day. So what they would do was that when they'd save up a little bit of money, they'd get themselves a clay pot or some other type of container, and they'd put it in there, and they'd go bury it out in the backyard or out in the field somewhere, so they can go and dig it up later when it's needed. And so they would recognize that, and they would also recognize that the owner of the property would have died, forgot it was there, whatever the case is, no one knew about it. So when this fella comes along here in the parable and finds the treasure, he reburies it so he can legally purchase the treasure by buying the field, that everything is fine. This is a typical occurrence, if you will. Not like it was common, but it was something that they were familiar with. Here's what I'm getting at. A lot of churches nowadays, they are locking themselves into this notion: we've got money in the bank still. We've got property. If necessary, we can sell the property. We can continue the church here at this address for a good long time to come. But I'm worried that what they're doing is they're actually hiding their treasure in the field there, and eventually someone else is going to get it. Maybe they end up having to sell off all the property. Maybe they exhaust all of the money that they've got in the bank. They've cashed in all their CDs, their savings accounts, all this good stuff here, to where they've got no money left whatsoever. There's no more treasure left in the field for them, and now it's foreclosure time. Now, what's your point there, preacher? The thing is this: they're not laying up for themselves treasure in heaven. They're dependent too much upon the treasure here on earth. And instead of following the direction of the Holy Spirit, they're following the bank account. Very dangerous. Don't be hiding treasure depending upon that. Depend upon God and His direction. Let God lead. And if God's leading to close the church, then He's leading to close the church. If He's leading for the church to keep going, then you keep the church going. But make sure you're following what God says and not what that treasure in the field says. Just a quick takeaway for you.